The Late Showgram podcast with Jim Richards is on the iHeartRadio app.
Terrible news regarding this show. We'll start off with terrible news regarding the show, and I don't mean to be a bummer, but it took me as somewhat of a shock on Friday that I learned some information that was kind of startling, to be honest with you. I found it very startling when my boss, we went out to lunch, and he said things are going really, really well, which seemed like a shock to me. This broadcaster, Jim Richards, host of this very show, The Late Showgram, shocked and alarmed, and I came to one conclusion: that he doesn't listen. So that is the latest on that front. If there is any other news on that front, you'll hear it here first on the Late Night Showgram, where we've got plenty of things to do, including finding how many times you'll be in the emergency room if you are a professional skateboarder. How many visits to a emergency room do you think you would go if you were a professional skateboarder? That and a lot of the excitement of me talking. I was going to ask everybody how their weekend was, but I just realized that you guys probably talked about how your weekend was yesterday when David Cooper was here, because I don't know why I feel like this is the first day of the week. It's not the first day of the week. It's the second day of the week. But Tony, how was your weekend?
It was good. It was fine. It was a weekend.
Sounds like it's an exciting time that Tony is having. Tony, you're going to need to calm down a little bit, I think. The energy coming from you, your weekend just sounded too fantastic.
Woohoo!
All right, that was a little bit more enthusiasm. I did nothing. I got mad at maybe somebody who was like, hey, let's do something on Sunday. So I stayed in town for the weekend, and then they said, oh, you know what? Haven't seen my parents in a while, and I think I'm going to bail. Could we do it during the week? And I said to them, well, if I knew you were going to do this, I probably would have gone out of town, so I'm not really happy. I felt like a bit of a jerk doing that. That's not why, but we'll have a segment called Am I a Jerk a little bit later on. And some startling information, folks. Absolutely startling information that we're going to start off with. And that information that I've been compiling right now, a new survey found that 1 in 22 people are psychopaths. And the top jobs to be a psychopath in are... Tony, do you know this information, by the way? Because this may have come out on Friday, and I don't know if anybody ever did it.
I know nothing about psychopaths, and I don't want to talk about psychopaths. And but you can, sure.
Top 3 jobs for psychopaths: CEO, lawyer, and it turns out radio host. So you can imagine my shock when I find out, I guess, this is psycho. It's not really psychopath, but I was shocked that I possibly could be a psychopath. And then the first thing I thought of was, do I even know what the hell a psychopath is? I think I know what a psychopath is, but if I'm one, shouldn't I get a little more detail? So psychopath is defined as a mental antisocial disorder in which an individual manifests amoral and antisocial behavior, shows a lack of ability to love or establish meaningful personal relationships. That could very well be me. Expresses extreme egocentricity. Does that sound like me, Tony? Extreme egocentricity?
Maybe a little bit, Jim.
Really, it does.
How close to the studio are you now?
Pardon me?
How close to the studio are you?
I'm in my house, way far away.
Okay, that's good. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
And demonstrates a failure to learn from experiences and other behaviors associated with the condition. Now, that could very well be me. Maybe I am, folks, a psychopath. Listen, this really rocked my world earlier today that I indeed could be a psychopath. According to this survey, again, there's a pretty good there's a pretty good chance that you know a psychopath. A new study found 4.5% of the general population is a psychopath. So again, 1 in 22. And the top 3 jobs, CEOs, lawyers, and radio hosts. The 10 jobs with the most psychopaths go on to be somebody in TV, a salesperson, a surgeon, a journalist, a priest, a police officer, a chef, and a politician. The 10 jobs with the lowest psychopaths: social workers, nurses, therapists, artisans, stylists, charity workers, teachers, artisans again, I don't know why, physicians, and accountants. So listen, I had to do some full team coverage to make sure, because I was shocked earlier today that now I am a psychopath. So I did a little bit of more research to make sure that I wouldn't be a psychopath, and I took an online test that if you're worried, if you are, like so many CEOs listen to this show, late at night, you'd be shocked how many of the CEOs in this country listen to late night radio. It is really alarming when you see some of the numbers that you have to deal with. How do I get rid of that music? All right. Let me just go to psychopath quiz. So I'm going to give you a psychopath quiz. You can follow along at home and see if you're a psychopath. Most would describe me as charming. Actually, why don't you, like, in all seriousness, Tony, answer these questions on my behalf, okay?
Okay.
But not in a joking manner.
Okay.
Most would describe me as charming and nonchalant. I can turn my charm on and off like a faucet. Is that me or not?
I think you do that, yes.
This describes me somewhat. Clicking on that. I do what I want, when I want, the moment the impulse strikes me, regardless of what others want.
I would say no to that. What would you say to that?
I
don't know
say
you
no
too
as
personally,
well.
but yeah, I don't, yeah.
If something goes wrong or turns out badly, it's not my fault.
Definitely no to that. You take your share of the blame.
Okay. I've gotten into legal or criminal trouble as an adult, not just speeding tickets. That you probably can't answer, but that is not me. I'm easily the best at what I do, bar none. Nobody could ever take my place. Do you think I think that way?
I do not think you think that way.
That is probably true. I do whatever I feel like doing, and I don't care about what others think, even if it's illegal.
No, that's not you.
Okay. Every person for themselves. I don't see the point of feeling sorry for others and have no desire to help others.
One of the reasons we get along is because of your compassion and empathy.
There you go. I've gotten into legal and criminal trouble when I was a teenager, not just for speeding tickets. Well, I say that would somewhat describe me because, I don't know, just like nothing bad, like drunk and disorderly when I was a kid once. I have no problem or concern in lying in order to get what I want.
Not as far as I know. I've never.
Live in the moment is what I say. The future will take care of itself, and learning from your past is pointless.
I don't know you that well to be able to say yes or no to that, but I don't think that's you.
Okay, I'm going to say that it is me just because there are some things that I keep on messing up. I never feel remorse, not me. I don't see the point in taking responsibility for anything that is also not me. So, get results. Are you a psychopath? Results say, man, I'm in the free. I am not a psychopath. That is amazing.
It's The Late Showgram with Jim Richards on the iHeartRadio Talk Network.
That is true, and thank you very much for your time. The phone lines are always open. They are always open, and we want to hear from people. We want to hear characters. We want to hear what crazy things are going on in your life. And mostly, we want you to be on topic. But sometimes we will throw that out the window. And if you have something to say and you just want to talk, depending on what kind of style or where we are in the show, we will do that. But not all the time. There are some times that we probably wouldn't do that, but other times that we would. I got to tell you, over the weekend, I did end up going out to a place with some friends, and we were sitting on a patio, and I don't know what the hell we were talking about, but it got to talking about vaccines, and I just find the whole conversation so demoralizing. A friend of mine who works in radio in Toronto on the News Talk 1010, that is the radio station in Toronto that carries this juggernaut. He doesn't allow anti-vaxxers on the radio station any longer, or on his show any longer. And I think that's a really good thing to do, because you're entertaining I don't even say it's a debate. You're entertaining a opinion that's wrong. And everybody's entitled to opinions, but to pretend that someone who is wrong and their opinion is just as good as someone who is well-informed or a doctor or a scientist, it is absolutely wrong. And so why allow and give any oxygen to that misinformation is how I feel about it now. I had to get off one of the social media platforms just because I was just getting tired of arguing with people about dumb stuff all the time. It's black and white. And I got into this argument last night with somebody who was like, well, where did you get that information? Well, where did you get that information? And he just started quoting crap to me that I could debunk in like 2 seconds with a little Google search. But anyway, you have all sorts of people, and I feel bad for people who are getting COVID who are not vaccinated. And I know you can still get I know you can still get COVID even if you have been vaccinated. And I know our boss doesn't even like us talking about this kind of stuff because people are sick and tired of talking about COVID. But yes, we were always told that these vaccines were like 95% effective, and you go running around, look at a victory lap as if you've proven something, because people who are getting double vaccinated are getting the Delta variant. And in some cases, they're actually going to the hospital too. And that's not supposed to happen. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't get vaccinated. Like this dumb lady, and I hope that this lady makes a full recovery, but this lady in the States in a hospital.
No, I am not vaccinated. They wouldn't have helped me anyway. The vaccination would not have helped me anyway because the strain I have is Delta.
No, the strain you have is being a moron. That's the strain that you have. And you've got politicians down in the United States who could actually say something like, I don't know, call them Trump vaccines. But these conservatives, all of these politicians have probably all been vaccinated, but they don't want to save lives. I mean, they're killing people by not coming out with an opinion because they don't want to be seen as being, I don't know, smart. What
he thought. Are you vaccinated, Congressman?
I don't like to get into taking sides on it. Okay? So
it's too fun.
What he thought. Are you vaccinated, Congressman?
I don't like to get into taking sides on it. Like telling somebody, talk to your doctor. Or telling somebody. Everybody's like, Oh, you think somebody on the radio is qualified to tell somebody whether or not they should get vaccinated? No, but I think somebody who's read that most medical and scientific fact says that you should be vaccinated. Feel bad for this guy and his wife. These two didn't get vaccinated either, and he's having a real hard time. He could die in the hospital, and listen to his wife.
No, I am not vaccinated. They wouldn't have helped me anyway.
Wrong lady. Where's the lady? Here's the lady.
His lungs have holes where they've collapsed. And just Wednesday, he had another major surgery. Mindy regrets her decision to avoid the vaccine every single day.
I do believe that it's really hard to get an answer when the noise around you is so loud.
Noise from what she now says are bogus online studies or so-called experts that skewed her view of the disease. Still, on July 1st, she was mad. Her husband had some strong words for her.
My husband told me, you need to have faith that Jesus Christ still lives and miracles still happen, or I won't make it out of this alive.
So she begrudgingly pushed forward with faith.
So I have nothing bad to say about religion, any religion. I am not a person of faith, any faith. But when you're why not say, hey, Jesus gave some scientists the smarts to come up with this thing that would save us, rather than having to pit religion against medical science. I mean, she says, oh, my husband had some strong words for me. As far as I'm concerned, your husband had some dumb words for you, because it should have been the vaccine first and not faith first. But you have these pastors who are not helping either, like this guy.
Fear, but the Bible says that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. You have a sound mind. You don't have to wear the mask. You got Jesus. You don't need the vaccine. You got Jesus.
And you're killing people, dude. You're absolutely killing people. These are the crazy. This is the guy, I think, who's got the private jet, who gets all these naive people to send him thousands and thousands of dollars. But this is him thinking that he's, and this is old, so it didn't work.
COVID-19. I blow the wind of God.
The wind of God.
On you.
On you.
You are destroyed forever.
You are destroyed forever.
And you'll never be back.
And you'll never be back.
Thank you, our God.
Thank you, our God.
Let it happen.
Let it happen.
Cause it to happen.
Cause it to happen.
It's what it sounds like to me. But we've reached a point right now. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on. We've reached a point right now where, and I think it was Scott Gilmore and McLean's wrote about how we've tried with the carrot. Maybe we need the stick right now. Because if you're a parent, he writes, sometimes your kid's going to stare you down and pour that bowl of cereal on the floor. And right now, that's the moment that Canada has arrived at. That 20% of the population, 20% of Canadians who have yet to get one dose of the vaccine, maybe we have to lay things down and no more carrots. Maybe now you need a little bit of a stick, because the fourth wave has arrived, due almost entirely to the unvaccinated. And as a result, restrictions might come back, masks are returning, and our short, precious summer looks like it might have to change a little bit over the next couple of weeks. But thankfully, if it doesn't, not going to be because you who didn't get vaccinated, it's going to be because of the people who did get vaccinated. And this is what we've learned with the Delta variant. The most popular strategy adopted by various levels of government in this country has been to deploy a combination of information and rewards to encourage people to get vaccinated. And that has worked up to a certain point. In Canada, we should be very proud of ourselves. Canada's vaccination rate is the highest among G7 countries. But that approach, it looks like it's going to have to come to an end, and we're going to have to get a little harsher. When you look at some countries that have said, listen, we're going to take some rights away and you can't go here and you can't go there unless you get a vaccination. In 48 hours, the numbers went through the roof in France and in Italy, where people started to say, well, if I can't participate in society, then I'll get vaccinated. And maybe that's what we need to do. In fact, I do know that that's exactly what we need to do. And maybe start charging people who are spreading misinformation and killing people as well. I'm Jim Richards. It's the Showgram.
You're listening to The Late Showgram with Jim Richards on the iHeartRadio Talk Network.
Shocking news. The guy who, nobody knows his name. I don't know his name. Well, I'm not a nobody. Maybe somebody knows the guy's name. I actually shouldn't say nobody knows his name. In Ottawa, I'm going to open up the phone lines right now to the exclusive Ottawa-only line, CFRA. We're going to use this line, the Ottawa-only line, 1-855-633-1010. 1-855-633-1010. The guy who accidentally once was naked in Zoom Parliament, and then it happened again, which has to make you wonder whether or not the first one was truly an accident. Naked guy, the liberal guy. Does anybody in Ottawa? I could look it up, okay? I understand. It's hurting my credibility as a broadcaster right now. My broadcast credibility is on the line. But that guy decided that he is not going to seek re-election, which I'm sure has ones and twos of people making jokes. And let's open up the joke line as well. The joke line, which is 1-855-633-1010. If you have a joke, it might be a pun. I'm not going to say the one that everybody is thinking of because I want to have the person who's calling the joke line at 1-855-633-1010. I'll allow them to make the poor joke. But he is not going to be running, which is shocking to nobody. And also Adam Vaughn. Now, you might not know, he's a guy who didn't show his penis to anybody. I was going to say as far as I know, but that's probably not fair. Adam Vaughn is a Liberal MP. He's a bit of a, I don't know how you would describe him. He was a bit of a S-disturber. He's a little bit of a pit bull. He's almost in the brand of a Sheila Copps back when Sheila Copps was in Parliament, if you're too young to remember that. Actually, I don't think that I have the audience that is too young to not remember Sheila Copps. I mean, we would like the audience to be a little younger. No offense to anybody, including me. I would like to be a little younger. Wouldn't we all like to be a little younger? But I would say Adam Vaughn is a bit of a curmudgeon, pit bull, that sort of thing. I even forget what this interview was, but he's decided that he doesn't want to run any longer, which made me think, where was that interview where I was just screaming at Adam Vaughn? Because he made some sort of comparison with that was in really bad taste, and I had him on. I thought he was going to, I wish I remember what this is about, because I had him on and I thought he was going to apologize for this comparison that was in really bad taste, and I just screamed at him for about 10 minutes.
Are you not embarrassed by that tweet?
Not at all. I'd be more embarrassed to cut health care for refugees and immigrants, as the Conservatives tried to do until the Supreme Court told them it was cruel and unusual punishment. I'd be more embarrassed to have the educational record of the Ford and Conservative governments in Ontario, where they're cutting millions.
Okay, that's not necessarily me screaming at him, but here's more of me apparently screaming at him.
Do you know where McAllen, Texas is?
I know exactly where scapegoating of
Do you know where McAllen, Texas is?
Of course it's on the U.S.-Mexico border.
Do you know why I ask you that?
You asked me that because you think the geography matters. I'm going to tell you right now.
No, you hold on. You think the words in your post are important?
I think
Do you think the picture that you put with your post is important? Why put a picture from McAllen, Texas, from June of 2018 if you're trying to fear-monger about facts and you're not trying to mislead people and scare people?
Well, I disagree with the premise of your question.
He made some sort of comparison of what conservatives wanted to do on our border versus what Trump was doing on the border with Mexico, and everybody was angry about it, and there he defended himself, but a couple of days later, he took down the tweet and apologized for the tweet. I'm not saying that I made all the difference there. I'm not even saying that I chased the guy out of... Yeah, I am. I am saying that I chased Adam Vaughn out of politics. You heard it here first, folks. I am taking full credit for the fact that Adam Vaughn is not running again. Probably something that is entirely irresponsible for I'm not a journalist, I'm an opinion person, but it is entirely irresponsible, probably not true, and I am going to take full responsibility for chasing Adam Vaughn out of politics, even though that interview was from 3 years ago and nobody remembers it, and he probably doesn't remember it either. But that's not the first time. First of all, let's go to the Ottawa line, the exclusive Ottawa line for, do you guys remember, because he's a local MP, correct, David? Who, the penis guy?
Yes, he's not in Ottawa. He's from the West Quebec, the Pontiac area, just across the river. His name is Amos.
His name is William Amos. Yes. Well, good talking to you.
Yeah, okay. I don't have a joke to put into that one right now, unfortunately.
Somebody texted in, he's not going to run for re-erection.
That's a good one, yeah.
I guess. It's better than not having a joke, I guess. Does anybody else have a penis joke? William Amos, you're right. Like I know, how would I? Did he hang up on me? Did he hang up on me? I mean, the talk show host is the one that does the hanging up on, and he just sounded like he hung up on me. Tony, am I wrong? Did he hang up on me?
Yeah, I think he hung up.
He absolutely hung up on me. David, I'm requesting an apology right now. On what phone lines, Tony? The apology phone
lines.
Yes,
apologize to Jim Richards' phone line.
Yeah, exactly. The apology phone lines is what I would like you to call, David, and apologize for hanging up on me. That's not the kind of show that I run. I'm not hanging up on people. 1-855-633-1010, 1-855-633-1010. I'm demanding an apology right now from David. Is that David right there? I can see the phone lines, even though here is a different... Is it a different David? David, are you going to apologize for hanging up on me? Hello? He hung up on me.
Apologize if I made you feel bad. I didn't mean to.
You didn't make me feel bad, but I was.
I know. We're
right.
having fun.
I'm trying to. Who knows? David, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That is David who... did David hurt... Well, I don't know. I'm very... am I sensitive? Yes. No, it depends on what day you catch me, but maybe... Sometime I'm sensitive. Let's say hi here to Mark, who, do you have a penis joke about this guy who is not running again, Mark? Mark Toohey, a talented broadcaster in Toronto. Mark Toohey is on the penis hotline. Mark, go ahead.
Well, I had two things I wanted to say, but actually one thing. Now I'm coming up with penis jokes at 1:40. Well, I don't even know what time it is.
It's 12:43.
Anyway, the Liberals promised us transparent government. This man delivered.
He did. And now they're getting rid of him, just like they got rid of the former Attorney General.
Too much action.
Yeah, very much action.
I wanted to call in as a fellow broadcaster of some note. You know, I pale in your comparison, but I wanted to thank you on behalf of Torontonians for the fantastic work you've done in the Adam Vaughn file. If it wasn't for you, this man would still be in office.
Yes.
He is still in office.
He is still in office. And I don't know, maybe, do you really think we've seen the last of him, or do you think he's going back to City Hall?
I think he has now, on Election Day, will have earned his federal pension, earned in quotes, and he's earned a city pension, so he will be well set to not do much of anything forever. But I imagine in his mind that there's more to the Adam Vaughn storybook. He's planning some other chapters. God knows where it is.
All right. I'm only hurrying you up here because you know how it is with these network shows and the hard outs. Thank you very much.
Adam Vaughn is one of your kills.
Thank you. William Amos, also a hard out. I'm Jim Richards.
It's The Late Showgram with Jim Richards on the iHeartRadio Talk Network.
David Cooper's going to be here in a bit. He did a fantastic job filling in yesterday. I know, because I was sitting by the radio the entire night, frightened that he has become this talent that is got no place to go but up. And I'm let's be honest, folks, I'm just going sideways at best. Sideways at best. So this juggernaut known as David Cooper, what's going to happen with him? Where is he going to go? I mean, the sky is the limit for a young talent such as that. So I was just rocking back and forth, listening last night, very, very, very concerned about my job security. Honestly, that's exactly what I did over the last 3 days. David is going to join us in about 40 minutes time. Actually, we've got some great interviews coming up as well. I don't know if I always say that. I should always say that. I don't know how, you know what? I know I always say it. I don't know that I always mean it. Today, I'm pretty sure I'm 75% all in on that statement that there is some pretty good stuff coming up. That's the kind of confidence that I think the people who run the iHeartRadio Talk Network want. They want the confidence of the broadcaster that might have something pretty good coming up, 70% sure. So that's on the way. I got into two arguments on the weekend. One, we were at dinner at a steakhouse. That may or may not be important to the conversation. Yeah, it is. In a couple of seconds' time, but I'll tell you why. But this guy who is my girlfriend's... Hold on. My girlfriend has a friend. This guy is her boyfriend. If that makes any sense. There's just a guy. It doesn't matter. It really does not matter. I don't know why I had to explain who the guy was. But we were talking about pools, and he had to go to the long story short, he was trying to make the argument that everybody pees in the pool. And he was trying to make the argument that, it's just one of those things that people say that they don't do, but everybody actually does it. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not true. I'm pretty sure nobody actually pees in the lake, in the ocean, maybe. But in a pool, everybody pees in the pool. I thought, at the beginning of the show, I wrote that down as... and my thinking, the process was going to be while the wheels were turning in my head and I was trying to think of what would a good call-in topic be. I thought, it did occur to me in the back of my head, as I was thinking.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
The sound of me thinking.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
I thought, do I want to go to the phones on, hey, does everybody pee in the pool? Tony, be honest. Don't just lie because you want the love of the nation. Just be honest, Tony. Do you pee in the pool?
Not since I was about 9 years old.
The answer is no. That's what I'm accepting. No. Because I do not pee in the pool either. But it's not just something that you're saying to sound, I don't know. You know
No,
what
I mean, I know kids might do it, and I know I did it as a child. First of all, I don't swim, so you're not going to catch me in a pool that often anyways, but if I am in one, yeah, I'm not peeing in it. No.
I don't,
The shower's a totally different story, but we've had that conversation.
you know what? You know who I like in the summer the most? Fat guy who can take off his shirt. I have so much respect for fat guy who can take off his shirt. Honestly, whenever I see fat guy with his shirt off, I'm like, that is a confident dude. I can't, because I've put on some weight during the pandemic, and I've got way off on a tangerine here, haven't I? But you say that you don't swim, so you don't go to the pool. I mean, I swim. But I mean, if nobody's swimming, if you go to your friend's back pool, you're not doing laps probably. You're just there to have a good time and hopefully cool down. But I don't, because of my big boobs. Since I've put on weight, most of them go to most of my weight goes to my boobs, and because I'm super white. I'm going to get all those jokes about people making jokes about how white I am because, again, when I wear a sunblock, it's like an 80 sunblock, which is basically a house. So I did some research on peeing in the pool. I thought somebody's probably done a study or a survey at one point or another, and I Googled, do people pee in the pool? Jay, you're on the iHeart Talk Radio Network. Do you pee in the pool?
Hi, Jim. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. This is the guy with the...
I'm the guy with the $2 million house in Oshawa, Jay, the inventor of the Aquarius electric car, and I'll have you over in September or maybe October when we don't have any more masks and we'll have some drinks. And how you doing?
I'm doing well. Are you listening?
I'm happy that you're back.
I was off for one day, just one day, Jay.
No, you're off for a week.
That was 2 weeks ago. I've talked to you since.
Pardon?
I've talked to you since. I've been back. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, because you're the best. And so I just want to say I'm happy you're back, and we'll keep in touch. And I'll tell you more about the Aquarius electric car in Oshawa, why it's the best in the world. Okay?
I love it. I love it.
Thanks,
do you pee in the pool? By the way, your $2 million house, how much does it cost again?
The house was like around $400,000, but with the prices gone up, it's valued at over $2 million.
Unbelievable. Good for you. Do you have a pool?
No.
Do you
Because I have grandchildren, and we don't.
And you don't want them to die. Okay.
My oldest daughter has 2 kids.
All right.
And I'm my youngest grandson.
Were you listening to the show moments ago? Do you know what the topic is?
What?
Do you know what the topic is? It's do you pee in the pool?
I used to pee. I was a bedwetter till I was 12 years old, like Michael Landon, and I used to pee in the pool a long time ago. Now I'm over 60, so I don't pee in the pool. I don't go swimming anymore.
All right. Let me ask you another question. Of 3,000 people surveyed, Jay.
Yeah.
What percentage do you think, like 60, 70, 80 percentage of adults do you think still pee in the pool?
Probably 85%.
Oh, very high. No, it is 40% of adults still pee in the pool.
Okay. I bombed out on that one.
Nope. Well, I wish I had you. Listen, life is going great for you. You're in Oshawa, and that house is
I'm here in Montreal taking care of my mom, but my family's out in Oshawa. My daughters, my wife, my grandchildren. We all live like Little House on the Prairie out there.
All right. Very good.
Yeah.
And the house is worth at least $400,000.
You'll get to see it. I'll
$2 million.
invite you over when this madness is over.
Thank you very much, Jay. I've got to go to the news.
Okay, Jim. Love you, man.
Love you too. One of the best guys, $2 million home in Oshawa, Jay. And he does not pee in the pool. 40% of us apparently do.
Listen live and local to The Late Showgram with Jim Richards. Weeknights starting at midnight on the iHeartRadio Talk Network.